11, a family struggling to come to terms with their true selves and a struggle to rebuild bridges with their loved ones.
Now, tonight, a mom in Brownsburg and her grown child in Chicago sat down to watch the same Bruce Jenner interview you just saw here in RTV6. And as Good Morning Indiana anchor Mark Mullins shows us, they too are navigating through a life-changing transition.
As a little girl, Caprice Carlson loved dirt bikes, playing hockey, and getting dirty.
Caprice was a tomboy.
But she matured into a pretty young woman, dated boys, and graduated Brownsburg High School with honors. But now, Brendan Paradise recalls the inner turmoil he felt as Caprice.
You just literally feel like you're going insane, like in your mind. You're just like all over the place. What are you trying to say? I don't know what I'm trying to say. I don't know how I'm feeling.
After a few months at Roosevelt University in Chicago, Caprice came back home and tried to say something.
The first time I told her that I had like some interactions with some females.
It was kind of a surprise, but I was okay with that. I was like, fine.
But that wasn't it.
I found out. As mothers do, mothers always find out.
Caprice was delving deeper into who she really was and felt she was not a she at all.
We were still helping to pay with tuition, and one day it was changed to Brendan Paradise. And that's how I knew that Caprice had legally changed her name to Brendan.
So she was fine like with me coming out more as like a lesbian. But then when I just remember I got like this terrible phone call, sometimes I still like have nightmares about it. She called me up and was just like, hey, so what is this whole thing about you being a boy? I was like, what are you talking about?
And she was crying and said, Mom, this is who I am. And I said, okay, but I'm never going to call you that.
Then arguments and silence for the next couple of years.
That's what I was taught, was that God didn't make mistakes. So it was very hard for me to reconcile that Brendan was feeling this way.
Brendan was living life as a man in Chicago.
It was consuming my life. What could I do? What could I say to change Caprice's mind?
Nothing. Brendan was becoming more confident and moving forward with changes legally and physically.
I felt like 100% me, just like comfortable. Like it was almost like taking like my inner soul and just like having it be on the outside too.
And then a realization came one day that when we die, our souls go to heaven. Our bodies don't. And God accepts our souls in heaven. And He doesn't judge us on our appearance. He judges us on the core of who we are.
And it helped.
Graduation day at Roosevelt, I was just filled with all kinds of emotions.
This day would be the real turning point.
There was so much support from his fellow students. And I was like, this is my child. This is who he is. And I'm proud of him.
Brendan is the first student in the college's 125-year history to deliver a commencement speech.
That was also the first day I called him Brendan.
Coming from 3 years of having just so much like hardship and negative interactions with my mom, it was hard for me to like really see that as like a sincere step.
I tried to get his attention in a room full of people, and I yelled Brendan. And he was just as surprised as I was that it came out of my mouth.
It took me like some time to like really understand like what was happening, and that she was there. She was ready to just like break free, like how I broke free.
I'm ashamed that I was trying to tell Brendan how he felt, that he was wrong in his feeling. And I'm just grateful that we've gotten through this journey to where we are today.
In Brownsburg, Mark Mullins, RTV6.
What a story.
Yes.
Brendan tells us his grandmother was a huge support during all of this. And today, while he continues to take hormones, he is opting against sex change surgery at this time.
As for the future, Brendan is in graduate school now and has even found love in Chicago with a supportive girlfriend. He also continues to work as an advocate for LGBT issues and has been invited to speak at Franklin College.